Okay, now it is okay. Madam, it is okay now.
Okay, Andy. It's
You are
good.
able to see
It's
the
good.
video, audio both.
It's good. And also, audio video కనపడటం అనేది how they adjust the view option బట్టి ఉంటుందండి. So
Okay,
there's somebody is saying that so somebody is only being seen. It
no,
all
no.
depends on.
You will see them in a small window only. Actually, if you keep in a speaker view, I think you may not see others. Anyway, it does not matter. Okay?
Yeah, we have to
Continue.
keep the speaker view, and everybody has to keep the speaker
Yeah.
view.
I am repeating again. Nimittani cha pashyami. I think one of you can keep it unmute, because I would like to hear one person at least. Okay. Nimittani cha pashyami.
నిమిత్తాని చ పశ్యామి
Viparitani keshava.
విపరీతాని కేశవ
Na cha sreyonupasyami.
న చ శ్రేయోను పశ్యామి
Atva swajanamahave.
హత్వా స్వజనమాహవే.
So Arjuna is telling Lord Krishna, O Keshava, I see the omens which are adverse. See here means perceive, I feel. Then he says, what he is seeing are the only negative omens. And he says, I do not see any good in killing in battle our own kinsmen. This is physical. I mean, both he is assuming that he says, I am only seeing negative indications, which he is going to elaborate in the further verses. And he says, I do not foresee any good, any virtue, anything good will come to anybody by this battle. This battle will only lead to killing of persons on both these sides. We don't know in a war who is getting killed, we don't know. But this is what Arjuna is telling. Now, here, actually, we have to understand this context. Arjuna is now caught up in a sort of emotional stupor. Suddenly, he's caught up in an emotional dilemma. Apart from that, what is happening is he appears to be more concerned with fate of kinsmen. We have to understand that entire Bhagavad Gita is talks of duties, mama dharma, duties of a human being, in the context of the unavoidable struggle between righteousness and evil. It's a battle between dharma and adharma. Actually, very first verse says, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. The Kurukshetra is a dharma kshetra where a struggle is taking place between the right and the wrong. So any person, that's what Krishna says, any person who has stepped into Kurukshetra has only to look for upholding dharma, that is dharma and adharma. Now, anybody who stands on the side of the dharma is your man. Anybody who stands on the opposite side, upholding adharma and going against dharma, even if his kinsman, even if his teacher and uncle, you have no choice, you have to fight with him. So Arjuna is forgetting this fundamental principle. He is forgetting the basic purpose of battle. He is forgetting about dharma and adharma. He is only talking of relations and kinsmen. So this is the first mistake which Arjuna is making. This is what the entire Bhagavad Gita background is. That's why we say Arjuna is more concerned with the fate of kinsmen, forgetting what is his role in a battle. He is a leader. He is one of the foremost warriors on the Pandava side. He has a clear-cut duty that he is forgetting. And now, instead of being a warrior, he is behaving like a very, very timid person, trying to take refuge in superstitious beliefs, in omens. Who believes in omens? Only person who does not have either confidence in himself or does not have confidence in the Almighty. This is my personal view. In Almighty's view, every moment he is good. Every day he is Paramatma. Every moment, everywhere Paramatma is there. So there cannot be any good day or a bad day. There cannot be a good time or a bad time. So provided you have that faith, unflinching faith in the Supreme Being, these things will not come. only that is weakening, or you lose your own confidence. You think of this, a black cat crossing my path, and these things. And these things are not standard. For example, in South India, in one area like Andhra, Amavasya is not supposed to be good. But same Amavasya is considered good for Tamilians. I think I'm right. So here, like this, so many features are there. Now, what is good? How do you say, Katyayani madam sitting in America, she's in a different time zone. So how do you know what is good time, good, bad time, etc.? It's all our weaknesses. I mean, generally, this is called this one. So irrational belief, like a black cat crossing one's path, there may be no correlation between cause and effect. I can understand ignorant people, weak persons doing that. But how can Arjuna, a warrior, having come to the battlefield, talk of these things? This is what the point we have to note here. Now, the world is governed by laws of causation, which operate in all spheres of activity. Laws of nature like gravity are infallible. They seem to obey some mysterious controller. You depend upon that and leave it there. So a bold person should not take recourse to mere superstitions and start questioning the supreme intelligence of the supreme being who has laid down these infallible laws of nature. Now, when emotions are divorced from the intellect, the mind runs wild to reach conclusions which are unintelligible, maybe illogical. These problems will fall. This is a trap. This trap one should avoid. Of course, Arjuna, Krishna has not spoken here. The very fact he's putting through the mouth of Arjuna these things, we have to be conscious of this. Nimittani cha pashyami.
Nimittani cha pashyami.
Viparitani Keshava.
Viparitani Keshava.
Nacha sreyo nupashyami.
Nacha sreyo nupashyami.
Hatva swajanamahave.
Hatva swajanamahave.
Then he says immediately, once he says that, he says, Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna.
Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna.
Nacha Rajyam Sukhani cha.
Nacha Rajyam Sukhani cha.
Kim no Rajyena Govinda.
Kim no Rajyena Govinda.
Kim Bhogaihi Jivitena va.
Kim Bhogaihi Jivitena va.
The R sound is coming only because of Sandhi. Kim Bhogair Jivitena va. Kim
Bhogair Jivitena va.
I'm again reading what is given in the red letters. Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna.
Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna.
Nacha Rajyam Sukhani cha.
Nacha Rajyam Sukhani cha.
Kim naha Rajyena Govinda.
Kim na Rajyena Govinda.
Kim Bhogaihi Jivitena va.
Kim Bhogaihi Jivitena va.
Now please note here, quite often the word na, naha, no are coming here. When the word na is there, it means negative. Kankshe, na kankshe. Kankshe means I desire. Na kankshe means I don't desire. Na kankshe, reverse. But here, na, no rajyena. No rajyena means not na rajyena. That no means naha. Naha means for us, for me. Kim naha rajyena Govinda. What Arjuna is telling is, I have no desire for victory. I have no desire for kingdom. I have no desire for all pleasures. Kim na rajyena Govinda. Then why do I want a kingdom? And this is very strange coming from Arjuna. Arjuna, why he has come to the battlefield? Only to win. He has come to win back the kingdom, his Pandava's kingdom, Indraprastha, which has been snatched by Duryodhana by wrongful means. He has snatched it by the deceit of that game of dice, put a condition, 12 years you do Vanavasa, 1 year Ajnatavasa, then come back and take back your kingdom. That's what the terms of the game was. Pandavas, although they were defeated by cheating, anyway, they have fulfilled the bargain. They have finished 12 years, 12 plus 1, 13 years. Having come back, when they come back, Duryodhana refuses to part with Pandava's kingdom, not his kingdom, his own kingdom. And Krishna, on their behalf, tried to strike a deal. Very, very simple deal. He said, okay, they are prepared to give up their share of the kingdom. At least give them 5 villages. Even that Duryodhana their kingdom. When that is the background, now how can Arjuna says, I am not interested in victory, I am not interested in kingdom. I mean, this is a sort of a ridiculous statement which Arjuna is making. Normally what happens is in a moment of frustration, in a moment of extreme sadness, in a moment of confusion, we'll talk something which does not make any sense. That is what is being highlighted in this Gita verses. Now, what Arjuna is telling is, hey Krishna, oh Krishna, he is addressed as Krishna, then he is addressed as Govinda, all are the great names of Lord Mahavishnu. Hey Krishna, Kankshe na Vijayam, Kankshe na Rajyam, Kankshe na Sukhani. All these things he says, na, it is mentioned 2 times, 3rd time it is implied. I desire neither victory, nor kingdom, nor pleasures that come along with kingship. I don't want anything. That's what Arjuna says. Na kankshe vijayam, na rajyam, na sukha, ni cha. Cha means end. Neither victory, nor kingdom, nor pleasures. Then before Krishna is asking, okay, what do you want? Then he says, hey Govinda, naha. Here, not earlier na was neither negative, na. But this naha means for us, plural. For me or for us. For us, kim, rajyena, bhogaihi. What use is kingdom? What use is this kingdom for such enjoyment? Kim jivitena. What use is life? Now, what are the answers for these questions? How can anybody answer this question? Arjuna, a warrior who has come to fight a battle, he is asking Krishna, what is the use of kingdom for me? Then Krishna can let him say, if that is so, why did you send me as your ambassador to Kauravas? Why was Krishna Raibaram took place? Why did you prepare all this battle? Why did you assemble this huge army of so many Akshavanis? Why you are done? Was it only joke? I mean, it is ridiculous. This question is like this. That's why you will see later, Krishna will not reply to these questions bit by bit. He will not give pointed answers to this. Krishna, as a good doctor, I think in case of doctors, perhaps homeopaths are like this. Homeopaths normally listen, ask 100 questions, try to understand your problem. They don't treat for symptoms. They try to deal as a global macro level. They try to strengthen your body strength mechanism. There's a different way of treatment, but it is very long and very prolonged. Maybe that is what Krishna does. He does not answer these points one by one, but he elevates the discussion to a much higher level and then discusses. In the light of that, all these doubts will vanish. That's what Arjuna, at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, he says, all my doubts are clear. And these doubts are there. Krishna never answered these doubts specifically. But how did the doubts vanish? Because once that overall picture emerges and get the super knowledge, this becomes irrelevant. So that is what we have to understand here. Na kankshe vijayam Krishna.
Na kankshe vijayam Krishna.
Acha rajyam sukhani cha.
Na cha rajyam sukhani cha.
Kim no rajyena Govinda.
Kim no rajyena Govinda.
Kim bhogair jivitena va.
Kim bhog भोगैर्जीवितेन वा
किं भोगैः जीवितेन वा
किं भोगैः जीवितेन वा
Club together, that R sound will be interpolated. Kim bhogair va.
किं भोगैर्जीवितेन वा
Esham. Now you read the red one, you see there. Esham arthe kankshitam naha.
येषाम् अर्थे काङ्क्षितं नः
Rajyam bhogaha sukhani cha.
राज्यं भोगाः सुखानि च
Esham arthe kankshitam naha.
येषाम् अर्थे काङ्क्षितं नः
Reading together. Eshamarthe kankshitam naha.
येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नः
राज्यं भोगाः सुखानि च
राज्यं भोगाः सुखानि च
त इमे अवस्थिताः युद्धे
त इमे क अवस्थिता युद्धे
actually should say ते इमे अवस्थिताः युद्धे
ते इमे अवस्थिताः युद्धे
when you club together te becomes ta and ime avastita gets clubbed together ta ime avastita yuddhe
त इमे वस्थिता युद्धे
प्राणान् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च
प्राणान् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च
Here we are going to club the two words pranan and tyaktva. The yes sa sound gets interpolated. Pranans tyaktva dhanani cha.
प्राणां त्यक्त्वा धनानि च
Now I am reading what is there in blue. Esha marthe kankshitam naha.
येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नः
Rajyam bhogaha sukhani cha.
राज्यं भोगाः सुखानि च
Taime vastita yuddhe.
त इमेव स्थिता युद्धे
Pranas tyaktva dhanani cha.
प्राणां त्यक्त्वा धनानि च
So in the previous verse, Arjuna said, I don't want kingdom, I don't want all this. He says, elaborating why he does not want. Because normally we also do that. All that earning, etc., we do, hard work we do, accumulate property. For whom we are doing? Either for ourselves, our spouses, or children. Now, somebody does it for great grandchildren and great grandchildren also. हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना 7 पुश्तों के लिए. So people start accumulating for these people. Suppose there is a person who does not have any progeny, who does not have any children. Maybe man is staying alone. He has enough for himself. Then he says, why should I buy more? Why should I work more? For whom should I spend? For whom should I accumulate? So this is the sort of a way we talk. So that is what Arjuna is telling now. Now, why should I, after all, battle we want to fight, we wanted to win the battle, fight the battle for our next generation, kingdom, etc. But in this battle, all of them are assembling here. Today, what is the guarantee that my children will survive? My children, my grandchildren, everybody suppose they are going to die in the battle. My own kinsman, my own brother, my family is going to get destroyed. Then what is the point of getting kingdom? Actually, this is sort of premonition. This is actually what happened. End of the war, all the children of Pandavas died. Not only Abhimanyu, Ghatotkacha, but all the Upapandavas, 5 Pandava children, they were killed. And even Ashwatthama tried to kill the unborn baby of Abhimanyu. Thanks to Krishna, Krishna's grace only, that baby in the womb of Uttara, Abhimanyu's wife, survived. We know he is Parikshit. So this is what Arjuna was perhaps anticipating, which has become true. He says, what is the use of this kingdom when all these persons, tyaktva dhanani pranan, te yuddhe avastitaha, all these persons, that means my near and dear, our children, they are standing in the battle here giving up, having renounced riches means having renounced their wish, desire for life. They are prepared here, they have come here even to sacrifice their life. They have given up hope of surviving also. So in all these, my children, actually for whom I'm supposed to fight, earn and give the kingdom to them, they are here. And then what is the use? For whom are we seeking kingdom? That is what it says. We seek kingdom those for whose sake esham arthe. Esha means who. Arthe means for whose purpose. Esham arthe, those for whose sake kankshitam, we generally opt, choose, desire. Naha rajyam bhogah sukhani, kingdom, enjoyment, pleasures, all these things we desire mainly for our children. Now, those children, all these persons, all these persons, tyaktva, dhanani, pranan, having renounced all the hope for riches and lives, te yuddhe avastitaha. They are standing here in the battle. I am seeing everybody standing here. That is what Arjuna says. But again, we feel Arjuna is trying to what I call justification, rationalizing, self justification. He is trying to make out a case for running away from battle. Having seen the kinsman here, he has lost the will to fight. He wants to run away from the battle. For running away, he is trying to give sort of excuses. That is what he is doing. He is trying to justify his retreat from the battle, which is wrong because it is a post of duty. And that duty has been assigned to him by destiny. Lord Krishna himself is standing on the chariot. That means Krishna has asked him to come and fight here. That is the will of the God. That is the requirement of the time. And how can he run away from that? Purely because of his narrow self-interest. That is what he says. So Arjuna is seeming to view the battle in terms of relations. Me and my teachers, me and my relations. And thinking of sharing of pleasures of victory. He is forgetting that. Basically, it was a confrontation. The real issue is a confrontation between virtue and vice. The purpose of the war was resurrection of righteousness. And Krishna has made this very, very clear in one more verse of Bhagavad Gita. All of us know this, verse 8 of chapter 4. Now, why does Mahavishnu take a manifestation avatar in this world? Is it only to enjoy? Is it to play with the gopis? Is it to only leela? They are very, very minor incidental things. His basic purpose of incarnation is three, and all these three are related. Paritranaya sadhunam. You can repeat this very nice verse. Paritranaya sadhunam.
Paritranaya sadhunam.
Vinashaya cha dushkrutam.
Vinashaya cha dushkrutam.
Dharma samsthapanarthaya.
Dharma samsthapanarthaya.
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
Sambhavami yuge yuge.
Now Mahavishnu, that is through Krishna, he is telling that in every era or whenever the need arises, I manifest myself. For main purpose is dharma samsthapanarthaya, to uphold righteousness. And how do you uphold righteousness? Only by destroying the evil. Vinashaya dushkrutam. And why you are doing this? To help the sadhus. Paritranaya sadhunam. To help the righteous persons. I have to destroy the evildoers. But basic objective is not either of these two. Basic objective is dharma samsthapanarthaya. That's why Krishna says, I have no friends, I have no enemies. He is helping somebody, maybe he is punishing somebody, but that is not the main objective. Main objective is uphold righteousness. For that, whatever required, he will do. If he has helped a good person, he will do it. If he has punished a bad person, he will do it. But purpose is dharma samsthapanarthaya. Now, it is this particular feeling is totally missing in Arjuna's arguments. Arjuna is only मुझे क्या मिलेगा, मुझे क्यों चाहिए, मैं क्या करूं, किसके लिए करूं. So this is what he is trying to say. This is a wrong way of looking at things. This is what Krishna will explain to Arjuna. एषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नः
येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं न
राज्यं भोगाः सुखानि च
राज्यं भोगाः सुखानि च
त इमेव स्थिता युद्धे
त इमेव स्थिता युद्धे
प्राणान् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च.
प्राणां त्यक्त्वा धनानि च.
Now he is again repeating the same thing. He says, who I am seeing, you are listing out those people. Acharyaah pitarah putraah
आचार्याः पितरः पुत्राः
तथा एव च पितामहाः
तथा एव च पितामहाः
तथैव च पितामहाः
तथैव च पितामहाः
मातुलाः स्वसुराः पौत्राः
मातुलाः स्वसुराः पौत्राः
श्यालाः सम्बन्धिनस्तथा
स्यालाः सम्बन्धिनस्तथा
श्यालाः सम्बन्धिनः तथा.
स्यालाः सम्बन्धिन तथा.
Only two words are clubbed here. In previous line, tathaiva, and last words, this one. Sambandhinastatha.
सम्बन्धिनस्तथा.
Acharyaah pitarah putraah.
आचार्याः पितरः पुत्राः
Tathaiva cha pitamahaah.
तथैव च पितामहाः
Matulaah swasuraah pautraah.
मातुलाः स्वसुराः पौत्राः
Shalaah sambandhinastatha.
स्यालाः सम्बन्धिनस्तथा.
So we can just see the meanings of this. Acharyaha, all of us know, teachers. Pitaraha, fathers. Actually, everything is used in plural here. Normally, fathers we don't say. Father can only be one. But in the Mahabharata joint family context, every person is, every father of everybody is considered equal to my father. That's why it says, Pitaraha, fathers. Putraha, sons. Tatha eva, in the same manner, Pitamahaha, grandfathers. Matulaha, maternal uncles. Swasuraha, fathers-in-law. Pautraha, grandsons. Syalaha, brothers-in-law. From this Syalaha comes our Hindi word Sala. Brothers-in-law. Sambandhinaha. Then relations, kinsmen. He is listing all these people, relations who are there. Now, what we are trying to say is Arjuna is viewing the battle now purely in terms of relations and sharing pleasures of victory with them. Now, since all his dear ones too are sacrificing their lives, he wonders who will be left to enjoy the fruits of victory. So actually what Arjuna is telling is, Arjuna is seeking a sort of a endorsement. Shabash, shabash, tum sahi bol raha hai. That is what he expected Krishna to say. Krishna will never say that. He is expecting endorsement and sort of an intellectual sanction for his irrational acts. His behavior is irrational. Now Krishna is very smart. He maintains an enigmatic silence. You will see always Lord Krishna with a sort of beatific smile. His smile always is there. What exactly it means you can't make out so easily. He will not show his emotions. He always has a smile. Actually, they say it is a very provocative smile. It can have multiple meanings. So indirectly, he is whipping Arjuna into shame. Arjuna should understand this. Arjuna starts crying like a baby. He's a warrior. Seeing the battle, he's almost like crying a baby. He's doing that. So Arjuna is now lost in his own Again, it is a self-created world of false emotions. Please follow these adjectives are very important. Self-created and false emotion. Could be Diva. Nothing has happened. He's only imagining all these things. And that is the problem with Arjuna, that's the problem with all of us. So whenever we go into what is called a depression, it is purely because of a imaginary, self-created fears. No doctor can help you. Doctor will only tell you, be bold, himmat karo. He will only tell you to buck up. But he cannot give any medicine for this. There is no cure for this. Because the problem is self-created. Solution has to be self. That is what Krishna will give the medicine. And now, having listed all those persons, relations, he is now telling Krishna, Etan na hantum ichhami.
Etan na hantum ichhami.
I mean, I don't desire to kill these persons. Etan na hantum ichhami.
Etan na hantum ichhami.
Somebody will say, I will not kill these people. I say, you will not kill this. Suppose you get kingdom in return. Suppose you give you 20 lakhs. I'll give you 1 crore of rupees. I'll make you a king. Then will you kill them? Arjuna says, no, I will not kill them even for getting sovereignty over 3 worlds. Trailokya Rajasya Hetoho. Even if you promise me to give the kingship, sovereignty of the 3 worlds, even then I won't like to kill them. Oh, Madhusudana, he is telling Krishna, Etan na hantum ichhami.
Etan na hantum ichhami.
If you don't kill them, they will kill you. No, even then I will not kill. Even if they kill me, I will not fight with them. Gnataha api. That means even if I am killed, gnataha api Madhusudana. That's what he's trying to say. Etan na hantum ichhami.
Etan na hantum ichhami.
Nataha api Madhusudana.
Nataha api Madhusudana.
Natopi Madhusudana.
Natopi Madhusudana.
Api Trailokya Rajyasya Hetoho.
Api Trailokya Rajyasya Hetoho.
Actually, we have to stop at Hetoho. That's why I given a comma there. Up to this is one sentence. That means Hetoho means for the purpose of. Even for getting the sovereignty over 3 worlds, even if I am killed, that's the api has come twice. Even if I am killed, api trailokya rajyasya hetoho, even if I am killed, or even if I am to be killed, even for sovereignty over 3 worlds, etan na hantum ichhami. I don't want to kill them, even for 3 worlds. Then he's asking a counter question to Krishna, Kim nu mahi krute. Kim nu mahi krute. That means I am not prepared to kill them even for 3 worlds. Then am I going to kill them for this stupid kingdom? This one small kingdom of Kauravas and Pandavas. For that, am I going to kill them? That is the counter question which is built in into this verse in the last part of the 4th line. Okay? Etan na hantum ichhami.
Etan na hantum ichhami.
Natopi Madhusudana.
Natopi Madhusudana.
Api trailokya rajyasya hetoho.
Api Trailokya Rajyasya Hetoho.
Kim nu mahi krute.
Kim nu mahi krute.
Oh Madhusudana, oh Lord Krishna, hetoho, even for the sake of sovereignty over 3 worlds, rajyasya api trailokya, even for the sake of sovereignty over the 3 worlds, then gnataha api, even at the risk of being killed, if I don't fight, they may kill me. They may not allow me to run from battle. Okay, even then I'm prepared. Even at these 2 factors is giving, na ichhami hantum etan. I do not wish to kill them. There is asking counter question, Kim nu mahi krute. How then for the earth? With this petty kingdom, am I going to kill them? That's what Arjuna is asking. Now, basically, he's obsessed with the relations. Now, in continuing with the obsession, Arjuna declares, even for sovereignty over three worlds, it cannot induce him to kill the Kauravas. You have to understand this, that the Arjuna continues to look at this situation purely from his personal point of view. He's talking as if the issue is only concerned with Arjuna's fate and Duryodhana's fate. He is forgetting about the larger context, larger canvas of the evil. For example, Arjuna says, I am prepared to forgive Duryodhana. Is he competent? For example, Duryodhana has insulted, humiliated Draupadi. That means he has humiliated entire womanhood. Now, can he get away from that? And this is the same question which criminal law asks today. For example, when Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated, it appears the wish of Mahatma Gandhi or his near and dear was to forgive and leave Godse, not to punish him. That state will not accept it. He has committed a crime against the father of the nation. It cannot go unpunished. Similar thing is happening today with Rajiv Gandhi's killers. Rajiv Gandhi's killers have been in jail for a very long time. Now, Rajiv Gandhi is not there. Rajiv Gandhi's daughter, Priyanka Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi themselves are requested that these persons should be pardoned. But will the state accept? Will the courts accept? That is seen in a different context. They have committed a crime against humanity. They have committed a crime against the laws of the country, laws of the land. It's a different, it's not a personal issue. That's what he's trying to say. Arjuna is confusing. Now, Kauravas, what they did was not only personal to Arjuna and Pandavas, but it was a crime against society. It's a break of law and order. It will be dealt with separately. Okay. Now, Arjuna, but now actually Arjuna says, I am prepared to go. Is he really prepared for renunciation? Renunciation, is it so easy? Vairagya, is it so easy? Vairagya is not that. Vairagya is a high level of state of mind. It's a high level of evolution only. Somebody gets Vairagya and Sannyasa. Otherwise, Vairagya which people get momentarily, it is not Vairagya at all. It's only a passing feeling. That is what is happening there. Now, what he's trying to say is, Nihatya dharta rashtranaha.
Nihatya dharta rashtranaha.
Dhritarashtra means sons of Dhritarashtra, Dhritarashtra, that is Kauravas. Nihatya dharta rashtranaha.
Nihatya dharta rashtranaha.
Again, this naha I have told you is not na, naha. With the visarga, it means for us. Having killed these sons of Kauravas, what is that I am going to get? Naha ka pritihi syat janardhana.
Ka pritihi
Janardhana.
By killing these Kauravas, what pleasure are we going to get? Nihatya dharta rashtranaha ka pritihi syat janardhana.
Nihatya dharta rashtranaha ka pritihi syat janardhana.
If you want to focus on meaning, this we have to read in three parts. I will read like this. Nihatya dharta rashtran.
Nihatya dharta rashtran.
Na ka pritihi syat.
Na ka pritihi syat
Janardhana.
janardhana.
Killing of these sons of Dhritarashtra, what pleasure are we going to get? That's what he says. Then he also says, instead of getting pleasure, he says, Papam eva ashrayet asman.
Papam eva ashrayedasman.
Atva etan atatayinaha.
Hatva etan atatayinaha.
Papam eva ashrayet asman.
Papam eva ashrayedasman.
Hatva etan atatayinaha.
Hatva etan atatayinah.
This is a very interesting verse, and the words which he has used here, papam eva ashrayet asman. Sin will accrue to me. This is what Arjuna is telling. This is discussed by Lord Krishna in so many verses in Bhagavad Gita. When does sin accrue? Krishna's declaration categorical is you get sin not merely by killing, you get sin by not doing your duty. In the line of duty, suppose you have to kill somebody also, it is not a sin. That is the Krishna's interpretation. Sin comes for not doing your duty, not performing your duty, that is more sinful than in the line of duty, bona fide line of duty, with no malice, with no person hatred, you do your duty. In the process, somebody is killed, no sin accrues. Typical case, our security forces, they are fighting on the battlefield. In the security forces, in the course of defending the motherland, they fire. Somebody on the opposite side, maybe innocent person, may be killed. But will the soldier incur sin? That's exactly what Krishna is asking. Krishna will explain to Arjuna much later, not now. But Arjuna's doubt is, Arjuna says, he's telling very categorically as if he knows everything. This is very dangerous. That's why they say, what you call half knowledge is very dangerous. It is better you say, I don't know. If you don't know, you say, don't know. Not knowing, but imagining you know and making strong declarations, it is height of foolishness and dangerous. Especially for a person like Arjuna. Arjuna is a leader. If Arjuna says something wrong things with full confidence, people will take it for granted. No, somebody can misquote this Bhagavad Gita verse. They say, no, Bhagavad Gita mein likha hai. And don't quote out of context. Krishna has not said this. Arjuna has expressed this doubt, which has been cleared subsequently in Bhagavad Gita. Don't pick up one verse in Bhagavad Gita in isolation and quote this. That by killing people, you get sin. No, don't read like this. He says, O Arjuna, O Dhanardhana, Nihatya Dharta Rastran, in slaying the sons of Dhritarashtra, ka pritihi do we get? What pleasure do we get? Then he says, in killing these atatayinaha, very interesting word, we'll explain. Atatayinaha, desperados is the exact meaning. In killing these desperados, sin alone, he is very categorical, sin alone will accrue to us. So Arjuna's statement is, by killing Duryodhana, I will get sin. That's what Arjuna feels. Now, what is desperado? Our scripture says, criminals who do one of these following 6 activities, they are called atatayinaha. Setting fire to somebody's house. Innocent person, somebody is there, he has a house, you quietly go and set fire to the house. 2, administering poison. Attacking with a weapon in hand. Robbing of wealth. Disposing a rightful owner, grabbing somebody's land or something, abducting a weapon, like what Ravana did. These things are the acts for which a person will get a sin. These are the Kauravas now, they have been guilty on all the 6 counts. They did everything. They set fire to Pandavas, Lakshagruha. They administered poison to Bhima. They attacked all these Pandavas. They robbed their wealth. They dispossessed them of their rightful Indraprastha. They abducted a woman. They humiliated Draupadi. All these 6 acts were done by Kauravas. Now, they are the fellows who are the real culprits. Now, Arjuna says, they are desperados. He says, accepts, but still, by killing them, I will incur sin. This is a wrong misconception of Arjuna. So, Arjuna is trying to make up some argument, but his own argument is falling in his own trap. In his own trap, he has fallen by saying they are desperados. They are guilty of these actions. Now, this is what it tries to happen. Now, Lord Krishna continues to maintain his silence. Krishna does not respond, because suppose somebody is in a state of a high tension and depression, you go to a doctor, a sensible doctor, a good doctor will allow the patient to talk. Whatever he wants, let him talk. It may be sense nonsense. Let him exhaust everything. After exhausting everything, when he sits still, Doctor साहब मुझे बताओ मुझे क्या करना है, then the doctor will start opening. If you don't allow the patient even to talk, then it will complicate the patient's condition further. This is the medicine which Lord Krishna will give only in the next chapter. So Arjuna, okay, you continue बोलता है. Arjuna is continuing now. तस्मात् न अर्हाः तस्मात् न अर्हाः वयं हन्तुं
तस्मान्
न अर्हाः
अर्हाः वयं हन्तुं
तस्मात् न अर्हाः
तस्मात् न अर्हाः
up together तस्मान्नर्हाः वयं हन्तुं
तस्मान् न अर्हाः वयं हन्तुं
when you read fast, no, that visarga sound will not come, it will get dropped. Tasman arha vayam hantum
तस्मात् अर्हा वयं हन्तुं
धार्तराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान्.
धार्तराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान्
Club together,
स्वबान्धवान्
club together. धार्तराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान्
धार्तराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान्
स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा
स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा
किनः श्याम माधव.
सुखिनः श्याम माधव.
Arjuna is still continuing. In the previous verse, he calls them Atatainaha. Now he calls them my own people, kinsmen. Kinsmen. So this is what happens here. Dharta Rastran Swabandhavan. Therefore, Tasmat, O Madhava, Tasmat Madhava. Therefore, O Lord Krishna, Swabandhavan, Dharta Rastran Hantum. By killing our own kinsmen, that is the sons of Dhritarashtra, is not justified. He is giving his own judgment. Na arhaha. That means they don't deserve to be killed. Or we have no right to punish them. That's what Arjuna is telling. Killing our relatives, that is the sons of Dhritarashtra, is not justified. Now, if Arjuna is so categorical in his judgment, then what advice he wants from Krishna? Then why is he telling Krishna all those things? He only wants Krishna to ha mein ha milao. Everything you say, yes, yes, you're right, you're right. He is expecting Krishna to say that. Otherwise, why should he make all these dog statements? Similarly, a patient, suppose, goes to a doctor and tells the doctor, doctor, this is what is happening. I have gone through Google, I have seen this is the symptom, this is the disease, this is the problem, this is the medicine. The doctor says, why did you come to me? If you so know everything well, then why do you come to me at all? You at the most, you tell your outer symptoms. Let me do diagnosis. Now, Arjuna is telling symptoms, giving superstitions, giving his diagnosis, maybe prescribing medicine also. Everything he does. This is what a patient should never do. Because Arjuna actually is a patient now. Killing our relatives, sons of is not justified. Then he says, further, killing our own persons, how can we be happy? Now Krishna will ask him, who talked of happiness here? Happiness is not the issue at all. Happiness, unhappiness was never an issue. Issue was right and wrong. It was dharma, adharma. In the process, yes, a lot of unhappiness is there. You can't say. Now suppose a judge is there, judge can say, by giving punishment to him, how will I be happy? That is the irrelevant issue. Judge's happiness is totally irrelevant. That is not the issue at all. Issue is what is to be done. That's what it says. Tasmat means therefore, this used number of times. It gives an impression as if Arjuna is giving a logical arguments. He is not giving logical arguments. He is making purely emotional arguments out of a sense of frustration is giving this. That's what he's trying to say. For righteous war, one should plunge into one's duty instead of brooding over the consequences. Actually, Arjuna's arguments are very dangerous because it gives a false look of a scriptural scriptural sanction. Just because these paras, these verses appear in Bhagavad Gita, this is not to be used in any context, out of context. You have to see as a proper background. With this background, the entire Bhagavad Gita will be coming. Okay. Now there are two more verses are there. They are related. We can read together. Yadyap ete na pashyanti.
यद्यप्येते न पश्यन्ति
Yat yapi ete na pashyanti.
यद्यप्येते न पश्यन्ति
Yat yapi becomes yadyapi. Yadyapi ete na pashyanti.
यद्यपि एते न पश्यन्ति
Again, yadyapi ete is clubbed together. Yadyap ete na pashyanti.
यद्यप्येते न पश्यन्ति
Lobha upahata chetasaha.
लोभ उपहत चेतसः
Lobopahata chetasaha.
लोभोपहत चेतसः
Arjuna is telling the Kauravas are greedy. Because of greed, their mind has become gone. Their mind, their senses have been influenced, carried away by greed. Because of that, they are doing all those things. But we are able to see clearly. They are not able to see. We are able to see clearly. When you are seeing clearly what is happening, then why should I do all those things? Kulakshaya krutam dosham
कुलक्षय कृतं दोषं
mitradrohe cha patakam.
मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम्
Now here, Arjuna is assuming he is trying to, what you call, putting himself on a higher pedestal than Pandavas, than Kauravas. He says Kauravas, they are foolish fellows. They are governed by greed. They are doing all foolish things. But now we are on a higher pedestal. We are able to see, seeing all those things very clearly. Then why should we do this destruction of family? Kulakshaya krutam, destruction of family, why I should do? Then why should I incur the sin of treachery to friends? Patakam mitra drohe. He is assuming all those things. If I do the battle and fight with my friends on the opposite side, it amounts to treachery. It amounts to a sin. And destruction of the family, as if Arjuna assuming he is the sole culprit of what is going to follow. He says, destruction of family will be on my account and it is an evil, I will incur sin. All these things, he is blaming himself. He is blaming himself unnecessarily about all those things. That is what he is doing. Yat yap ete na pashyanti.
यद्यप्येते न पश्यन्ति
Lobopahata chetasaha.
लोभोपहत चेतसः
Lakshaya krutam dosham.
कुलक्षय कृतं दोषं
Mitradrohe cha patakam.
मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम्
Katham na gneyam asmabihi.
कथं न ज्ञेयम् अस्माभिः
The previous verse continuation. He is saying they do not understand. They are governed by greed. Their vision is blinded. Whereas now we are able to see. Katham na gneyam asmabihi.
कथं न ज्ञेयम् अस्माभिः
Papat asmat nivartitum.
पापात् अस्मात् निवर्तितुम्
What Arjuna says is, since we are able to see clearly, why we should not prevent this sin? Why we should not avert this calamity of a kulakshaya krutam dosham.
कुलक्षय कृतं दोषम्
Dihi janardhana.
प्रपश्यद्भिः जनार्दन
We are able to see clearly what is wrong, what is happening. If they can't see, at least we are seeing why we should not stop. Katham nagneyam asmabihi.
कथं न ज्ञेयमस्माभिः
पापादस्मात् निवर्तितुम्.
पापादस्मान्निवर्तितुम्
By clapping, ta becomes da. Papadasmat nivartitum.
पापादस्मान्निवर्तितुम्
You can note here, papat, the ta sound becomes da. Asmat, this ta sound becomes na. It's getting transformed. Papadasman nivartitum.
पापात् अस्मात् निवर्तितुम्
Kulakshaya krutam dosham.
कुलक्षयकृतं दोषम्
Prapashyabdirjanardhana.
प्रपश्यति जनार्दन
Again, R sound getting interpolated. Prapashyabdihi janardhana.
प्रपश्यति जनार्दन
Actually, that R sound, if you club together, Prapashyabdir janardhana.
प्रपश्यति जनार्दन
Oh, Janardhana, Prapasyabdihi. We are able to clearly see the dosham, that is evil, in destruction of the family. Kauravas are not able to see this because their vision is blinded by greed. Lobo pahata chetasaha. Their vision, their thinking is clouded by greed. But we are able to clearly see the evil which is associated with destruction of the family. Then he says, why not our people, not only me, all the Pandavas, all the Pandava army, why not our people learn to turn away from this evil? He is asking himself, he is asking Lord Krishna. Now you can see how the line of thought is clearly built up gradually here. But the entire thing is based on what is called a false premise. See, you know what is called a pack of cards. You can build a multi-story building, but suppose you build on sand, whole thing will collapse. It looks very strong, looks very stable, but the foundation is weak. All the Arjuna's arguments which have been built in these verses from 28 to 39 and a few more verses, all this built on a fundamental premise that he is fighting the battle for personal issues. He is fighting with his relations. And now he is fighting for kingdom. And in the process, people will get killed. It is a sin. He will incur sin. All arguments are there. So Krishna will not deal with all these 7 stories of structure which Arjuna is building, but he will strike at the root. He says, Arjuna, try to understand why you are fighting. You are fighting for dharma. You are fighting to uphold dharma. You are doing your duty. You are a mere instrument, nimittani. You are only an instrument in my hands, instrument of the fate. You have to do your duty without expecting any fruit of action. Don't bother about whether it's going to give good or bad, sin or this. Forget about everything. As long as you do with a sincere heart, perform your duty, that is the message of Bhagavad Gita, which will come as an answer to all these confusing doubts and also superstructure which Arjuna is building on one fundamental wrong assumption. So Arjuna is seeing evil and sin, etc. That's what he is saying. He is forgetting about everything. It amounts to what is called sheer escapism, choosing an easy way out. But this is not correct for Arjuna, because Arjuna is definitely not a coward. He is not a coward. He is only what is called a confused soul. He is a great warrior. A great warrior. He is always righteous. His name is Arjuna. You know Arjuna means? Arjuna means white. White means purity. His heart is absolutely pure. Arjuna, no sin. That is why Krishna always addresses Anagha, oh sinless, oh Kaunteya, oh dear child. Krishna will speak with lot of affection for him. In the entire Mahabharata, one person dearest to Krishna is Arjuna. He says 100 times, for Arjuna I will do anything. So, but now here Arjuna is only a confused person. So we are all like Arjuna. We may be confused, But Lord Krishna likes all of us. He has immense, unimaginable affection and compassion and love for us. Only we must be prepared to follow his word. We are prepared to become his nimitta matraha. We must be prepared to become what you call instrument in his hands. Then we have no problem whatsoever. So with this, I will conclude the verse today's session, and will continue next week.